If you've ever tried telling a Tesla Model 3 apart from a Tesla Model Y without seeing the two parked next to each other, you're probably well aware that they're basically two versions of the same car. The 3 sedan is shorter and the Y SUV one is taller, and they're pretty similar beneath their skins. It stands to reason, then, that if one were to be upgraded, so too would the other. That hasn't exactly happened before. The Model Y has gotten new structural castings that the 3 doesn't have. But it's a pretty good bet the recent spate of cosmetic changes inside and out on the 2024 Model 3 will eventually migrate to the Model Y. But are they worth waiting for? To find out, we lined up a new Model 3 against our very own Model Y. We classify the updated Model 3, known by its internal codename Highland, as a major refresh, not a full redesign. Head here to read about everything that's changed, and here for a chassis deep dive. The batteries and motors haven't changed, nor has the underlying structure. As mentioned, it didn't even adopt the Model Y's gigacasting rear subframe. The things that do change, though, make for a substantially better car. On the outside, most of the body panels are new, everything but the doors and rear fenders to be exact. They're more aerodynamic, they have tighter gaps, and they're better sealed. Combined, those enhancements add up to better aerodynamics and less wind noise. All of the windows are made of acoustic glass now, not just the windshield and front side glass, to reduce interior noise. Speaking of the inside, it has a subtly redesigned dashboard and door panels with new fabric trim and wraparound color-selectable ambient lighting. Pay for the optional two-tone interior, and the white faux leather isn't just on the seats anymore, instead running up the door panels and onto the dash. A new rear seat has better cushioning and improved backrest angle to make it more comfortable. Tech-wise, there's a new 8.0-inch rear touchscreen that does most of the same stuff as the front screen, including climate control, radio control, watching streaming video, adjusting the front passenger seat for a limo-like experience, and coming soon after the car goes on sale, gaming. Up front, there's a new steering wheel with touch-sensitive buttons for turn signals, cruise control, and other functions. Shifting is done by swiping up and down on the left side of the central screen, which has more real estate now thanks to a slimmer bezel. If the predictive automatic shifter doesn't guess correctly. There is also a backup touch-sensitive shifter on the ceiling between the overhead lights. While most of the major mechanical components haven't changed, improvements lurk under the skin. New passive frequency adaptive shock absorbers improve ride quality without affecting handling. Stiffer suspension and chassis bushings better isolate the cabin from vibrations coming up from the road. New steering knuckles and updated front suspension geometry should make the steering sharper but less likely to tramline. The contrast between the new Model 3 and the current Model Y are obvious before you even leave the parking lot. Walking up to both cars, the exterior panel gaps on the Model 3 are noticeably better. Climb in and close the door and you can hear the difference, too. The Model 3's doors close with a more satisfying thunk than the Model Y's. Indications of better build quality don't stop there. The panel gaps inside the Model 3 are better than the Model Y's, though still not perfect, while the Y's and old 3's, standard cheap-looking fake wood and optional metal look trim are gone, replaced with rich-looking fabric. The dashboard and door panels front and rear are covered in better-looking soft-touch materials and topped with a wraparound ambient lighting strip that goes all the way to the back. Pay for the interior upgrade, and the new car features white faux leather not just on the seats like the Model Y but up the door panels and onto the dash. About the time you finish poking around and start driving, you notice how much quieter it is in the Model 3. The Model 3 muffles most exterior noise while the Model Y suffers from an annoying level of wind, road, and tire noise, as well as a slight echo in the cabin if you talk too loudly at a stoplight that the Model 3 doesn't. The Model 3's quietness is also helped by its better build quality, as there's no rattle in the front door or cargo area like this Model Y, which has all of 2,400 miles on the odometer. The driver door mirror also doesn't vibrate constantly on the Model 3 like it does on this Model Y. As noticeable as the quiet is the ride quality. The Model 3 still rides firmly, as all Teslas do, but the vibrations and impacts that make it through to the cabin are considerably fewer and less severe than in the Model Y. As a result, many fewer vibrations make it to the occupants in the Model 3, and head toss is almost non-existent compared to the Model Y. If you're a rear seat passenger in either car, you'll find far more control over your environment and entertainment in the Model 3. Model Y passengers get by fine with normal manual air vents, but Model 3 passengers can control fan speed, too, on the new screen. Getting the front seat out of the way so you can kick back and watch a movie ain't bad, either, nor is getting to play DJ from the back seat. Model Y passengers need to bring their own entertainment and adjust the front passenger seat before they get in the car. Purely from a driving perspective, there are fewer differences. The Model 3's new suspension geometry isn't obvious through the steering wheel, and the shifter on the screen isn't all that different than the Model Y stock. The predictive shifter, which is a beta software feature that isn't complete yet, is so often wrong the Model Y driver isn't missing out on anything. The touch controls on the steering wheel spokes are potentially divisive, with some drivers preferring the push-button turn signals and others not. The Model 3 gets blind spot warning indicators embedded in the exterior mirrors as well as graphics on the screen, which offer an extra layer of situational awareness the Model Y driver wouldn't turn down.